Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another edition of the Steve and Mike Show. My name is Mike Larkin, and as always, I am joined by my top dog, my homie G, my top homie, my top dog for life. It cuts like a knife, but you ain't out of my life. My homie Stevie Nicks, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Mike Larkin. It's good to be back. Little overdue for
Yeah.
this one, right? It's been a little longer in between episodes than we would have liked, but
Well, yeah, we've been
right,
trying.
it's been like a month and a half, right?
Right. We've been trying to plan on doing these folks for you, everybody, for about like every month, like once every month, and then boom, that's a nice little pace. But yeah, this one's a little over a month and a half, but we're back and we're here, and it's a beautiful thing. Yeah, lots been going on. And I gotta say, first and foremost, before we even get into a lot of stuff here, you, my friend, Cheap Trick and Cool in the Gang. I saw you doing your thing, partying out there, Westbury Music Fair, and just get your groove on, man.
Actually, it's called NYCB Theater at Westbury now, Mike
Whatever,
Clark. See,
whatever,
I don't see you
whatever.
haven't been here in a while, so you
I
can't keep up with the times, dog. You know what I'm saying, dog?
First of all, I know what it is, but it will always be the Westbury Music Fair to me. God damn it, it's still real to me. Damn it.
You know,
This
it's funny. It's funny. I have a great affinity for that place because I don't know if you know this, Mike Larkin, but my mother used to work at the box office at Westbury Music Fair. I don't know if you realize this, but like me and that place would go way back because of my mommy. You know what I'm saying, dog? So we used to go there all the time, and I mean, did you know my parents met at BLI, Mike Larkin? Did you know?
Shut up. Just shut up. That's my parents. Fuck off. Fuck to the
I don't
left.
know what you're talking about, Mike Larkin.
I
I
don't know
don't know
what
what
you're
you're
talking
talking
about.
about.
Just fuck
Yeah,
off.
I thought this is my life. This is my parents, dog. You know what I'm saying, dog?
My goddamn podcast. No, but I mean, yo, but yeah, Westbury. Sorry, excuse me. The NYCB Theater at Westbury. You got to see Cheap Trick and Cool in the Gang. Get down on it.
Yeah.
Celebration. Was it good? Really good?
Mike Larkin, all four. So I saw last week we saw Cool and the Gang,
Right.
the Spinners, and
Oof.
Average White Band.
Hmm.
Now, tell me that's not an insane triple bill.
That is an insane triple bill of just great music.
And they were all outstanding. I mean, it was like a 3.5 hour show, and it was so worth it. Like it didn't even feel like it was 3.5 hours. Every one of those, and let me tell you something. All those guys are in their like 70s now, Mike
Yep.
Larkin. Okay, even in Cheap Trick too, which we saw a few nights ago. All of these guys are in their 70s, and they are still putting on fantastic shows. I mean, they still sound amazing. Like the level of dedication they have to their craft and the amount of work that they still put in to put these shows on is just it blew my mind, Mike Clark. And it was just the whole crowd was jumping. I told you, people were dancing in the aisles. I had guys in front of me, putting their hands in the air, and I think I saw a guy do a Black Power salute, even Mike Larkin. But it was insane. It was insane, Mike Larkin. I really, Mike Larkin. I'm not kidding. I really did see that. I'm not making it up. Um, but it was great though. It was great. I loved it. Like there was such a level of enthusiasm, even though a lot of boomers, Mike Larkin. You know what I'm saying, dog? Like a lot of crusty old boomers, including my dad. You know what I'm saying, Mike Larkin. But you know, they were getting up and they were dancing and singing and grooving to the music, and just somebody turned around.
It sounded, tell you that funky music, white boy.
But they were Mike Larkin. They really, it was really that kind of an atmosphere, and like well worth the price of admission. And I'm just so glad that I got to see those bands because I mean, you know how great those bands are, Mike Clark.
Oh
All
yeah.
right, and I mean, we love our R&B and our soul, and like that stuff is just those are the guys are legends, right? Those guys are legends,
Oh yeah.
and they still sounded fantastic, and they put on a great show, and just the amount of work that they put in, just especially me being a musician, like you can definitely tell that they still really love what they do.
Oh yeah.
And that really is like the most important thing, right, Mike Larkin? I mean,
Agreed
right?
wholeheartedly. I mean, I saw, and I mean, you want to talk about dancing down the aisles. I remember Smokey Robinson. He's up there in age now too. Like him doing like cruising and all the songs that he did with the Miracles and everybody's dancing. Like Smokey
Another
Robinson.
legend.
Yes, Smokey's done that. God rest his soul. Luther Vandross had people doing that a couple years before he
How are you
passed.
gonna talk
Talk
about
about
Luther
Luther
Vandross?
Vandross. Yes, Luther was much like that before he had the stroke, and God rest his soul. But yeah, no, you see a lot of that, a lot of bands like that at Westbury. I mean, if you want to look at it, Bruce is up there now. Bruce Springsteen, he still friggin' rocks it.
Don't get me started on Bruce Springsteen, my God.
You hate Bruce Springsteen for some odd reason.
Bruce Springsteen is the greatest con artist in the history of
you hate
rock
the
and roll.
boss. You hate the boss. You
He's
know what?
not the boss, Michael.
Hold on, wait a
He's
minute.
not the
Hold on.
boss.
Before we get on this rant here, I have to tell you something that's very important about Bruce Springsteen.
Okay.
Did you know that everybody's got a hungry heart? What do they do, buddy? They rip your heart out of your ass.
Then you hit him and quit him, and then it's bye bye birdie.
Bye bye.
My God, you know what I want more than anything else in the world?
What's that, homie?
I just want someone to hold me and tell me everything's gonna be all right.
Everything's gonna be all right. Like, how are we not going to talk about the wedding singer with Bruce? Everybody's got a hungry heart. They're all depressed at the bar. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Come
I
on.
mean, I mean, every line, every scene, and it only took us 5 minutes to get a wedding singer quote in there this time. So that's actually pretty
I
impressive.
know it's their fucking jam, but since all right, talk about why Bruce Springsteen. And the only reason I say this because my dad was showing me one of his concerts recently, and he's like, "Yeah, he's like 70 years old and he's still into it." Because my dad is a Bruce Springsteen fan. My mom likes her some Bruce, so you my boy Bruce, you my boy Bruce. Not instead of my you my boy Blue, you my boy Boo. Don't bring me down, Bruce. Don't bring me down. All right, why you hate Bruce?
That's another Bruce, my lord. That's not the same Bruce. That's another Bruce.
Brother Bruce. All right, Bruce, the comedian, Bruce Bruce. No, Bruce Springsteen.
Lenny Bruce.
So why you hate Bruce? Why is he a communist? Why is the boss?
Because, Mike Larkin. First of all, he surrounds himself with musicians that are. He has no talent. He is the biggest hack in the history of music. He surrounds himself with musicians who are all more talented and better players than he is, and then he allows people to conflate that talent with his own. You ever hear Bruce Springsteen sing?
I have.
Singer. Born in the U.S. It's like the guy cannot sing for shit. Okay,
Baby, we were born to rock.
He barely is an adequate guitar player. Okay, and yet somehow like he manages to brainwash people into thinking that he's the one that has the talent. Meanwhile, it's everybody else around him, and Little Steven and all these other guys in the E Street Band that have the talent. Clarence Clemens, God rest his soul.
God rest his soul.
I mean, freaking like those guys are the ones that were the talented ones, not Bruce. And then also with the Live Nation Ticketmaster stuff, I mean, he's also full of shit. He claims to care about the common man, and he's I'm one of you. I'm the common man. I understand the strife of the worker and the regular guy. Meanwhile, he pulls stuff like the Ticketmaster fiasco a couple of months ago, where he's ripping people off and doesn't even give a shit. And he said something like, "Oh, maybe we can help. Maybe they can get some stuff back when we're walking out the door," or something like that. Something like so non-caring and non-committal. Like freaking Taylor Swift had the same situation and like went out of her way to like make things right and take care of her fans. Like it's like, dear Mister, I'm too good for my fans.
This will be the last package I ever send your ass.
Like he really is like he is like the biggest like so full of crap, Mike Clark. He's the biggest con artist and is just he's not someone that's worth anyone's time if you actually care about good music and good rock and roll. Like he does not deserve the praise that he gets.
Also,
Rant over.
Okay. Well, I also think
That's all I gotta say about
that's
that.
all I got to say about that. I think you would even get pissed at Christmas because everybody, and I know it's one of those ones, but everybody loves Santa Claus is coming to town. Oh yeah, well, he sounds.
I mean, it's like nails on a chalkboard, Mike Clark.
People love that version. People love that Bruce Springsteen version. Santa Claus is coming to town.
It's grating.
I know.
It's grating, Mike Clarkin. Like it hurts to listen to.
Yep. He's making the list and checking it. Gonna find out who's naughty or nice. God. Oh. But yeah, no, I get it. Well, you want to talk about people that who do not just music wise, and we talked about this, and I have to bring this up because it's something that you and I have actually talked about in the past. But I don't think we ever talked about this on the podcast. We're gonna go to the
Yeah.
comedy side of things, if you can barely call it comedy. God damn it, Andy Milonakis is not funny. And the reason I bring this up, somebody on the '90s on Instagram, very much flashbacks and throwbacks here, they put the theme of Andy Milonakis from '06, and I'm like, he was not funny. I didn't like the whole gags with the delivery, and I didn't like the fact that he was shut on and turn off on and off the lights, and there would be the dog or somebody in the room. Like, none of that, what he did was funny. I thought it was stupid. He was a 30-year-old grown ass man acting like a teenager. Just didn't work for me, man.
I mean, like, look, like he got big. We were talking about this a little bit the other day.
Yeah.
He got big on the Man Show. You
Yep.
remember the Man Show on Comedy Central with what was it? Jimmy Kimmel and Adam Carolla
Yep.
and a couple of other guys did it too. And you know, he was like the whole thing was like he was pretending he was 8 years old because he looked 8 years old. And he starts asking, you know, goes up to like women and like asks them about like what, like their periods and like all weird questions that like, you know, would be really messed up for an 8 year old to ask someone. And then, you know, was doing that whole thing. And like, you know, I guess, you know, someone at MTV figured, oh, this kid would make a good show. I don't know how anyone thought that that would make a whole good show out of those stupid segments, but someone, you know, thought that they would give him his own show, and you know, obviously, I don't know why people thought it, because it wasn't funny. The stuff he was
Random.
doing, it was just stupid.
It was random. Like, I rock peas on my head, but don't call me a pea head. Bees on my
I'm
head,
like,
but don't call me a
what's
pea.
funny about that?
I
Like,
don't, I don't get it.
I mean, because you're weird, because you're quirky. Is just like it's like Bob's Burgers is like the similar like thing. Not exactly the same, but like me and Dylan, shout out to Dylan, talk about Bob's Burgers. Like after like season 2 of Bob's Burgers, like it lost me because they really leaned into like being weird and quirky, like the quirkiness of it, and like the Tina character the most. And like quirky, quirk is not a personality trait. Quirkiness is not a comedic device. It's just being weird, and like you can't be weird for the sake of being weird. And that's like the similar to what like Andy Milonakis was doing. It's like, dude, you being weird for the sake of being weird is not funny. It's just stupid. Like there's being stupid, and then there's being like funny, and sometimes being so stupid it's funny can work, but he never did that. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. No, like everything that he did, I even told you, like there was one thing I did see of his show that he's sitting in the movie theaters and it's just like his head just like bobbing, or head his just a no body, just his head like moving around, and it's just like the Gorillas, Clint Eastwood is playing in the background, which is an amazing song. I love that doggone song, but it made no sense. Anything that
Yeah. What's the point of that?
it's just random as fuck. Like it doesn't mean nothing. It means nothing.
And then he was like, then he later did like live streams on like what YouTube or something,
Yes.
right? And then
Right.
like he was just doing like more like weird stuff, and like he like spiraled, like his like life like devolved into like craziness, and like it kind of got sad after a while. Like he just like totally started to just like fall apart, and like you know that lasted for a little bit, but it was just like the older he got and the more desperate he got to try to stay relevant, it just got more and more sad because that's what he was doing. Like he was getting more and more desperate as time went on to stay relevant, and it was just like, dude, like what are you doing? Like what are you doing with yourself, dude? Like
What are you doing, buddy? I'm sorry. I used to be a lot stronger. So, I mean, I don't know what he was doing, to be completely honest with you. I think it was just,
Mike Larkin,
yes.
why don't you go write a song about it? You
What
can
you
call
call
it
it? I got
I
punched
got
in the
punched in the
nose
nose
for
for
sticking
sticking
in
into
other
other
people's
people's business.
business. Sounds like a country song. So, I don't know what Andy Milonakis was thinking, but it was very random. I know they made fun of him on one of the newer celebrity death matches that came out around that time. They made fun of his character on that, which was hilarious. But ever since he left MTV, he went nowhere. You also have to remember around this time, like besides Andy Milonakis, they also had those random reality shows like Next, where they would get off the bus and then you see how long they would be with the girl, and then the Room Raiders we've mentioned, and like friggin' Parental Control and all these other bullshit shows. So I mean that was a weird time period for MTV, excuse me. But yeah, remember Next and all that crap?
I remember the band Next.
Oh, baby, when we're grinding, I get so excited. Ooh, how I like
I
it.
try, but I can't fight it.
Fight it. You're touching real close. You're spinning real slow. You're making it hard for me, baby. You don't stop. Yes. The band Next will always be great, but the show Next, oh my God, where it's like, hey, what's up? I'm Kyle. I'm 25 years old, and I'm going out with this chick right here, and I'm gonna show her what it's like to get down on it. You know what I'm saying, bro? Gonna ride on my skateboard, and maybe she could ride on this board. You know what I'm saying? Blah. So you had those people with those similar like introductions that was very cheesy, and you have to remember this was around the time of the MySpace days. Facebook really wasn't as big as it was, and it was just crapola. It was just crapola, homie.
Yeah. I mean,
And it's demeaning too, because it's like, hey, Dex, you're not good enough. You know what I'm saying? Just to
and
do.
then you had like intervention and like real life and
Yeah.
like,
Well, True Life was good. I like True Life
True
because
Life. Yeah. Well, I
because
know why you like True Life, my friend. I do this for her.
her. Yeah.
We both did the same thing. We both said the same exact thing. Like, didn't it? Did you know that I was gonna say that?
Yes, I do believe I know what you were saying. So I do this for her. I do this
And
for
it's
so I
it's
can.
it's a cutout page of of a single page of a magazine, thumbtacked to a wood panel wall. Like, I don't know anything that screams I'm white trash more than a cutout magazine photo of Baby Spice thumbtacked to a wood panel wall.
But you're ruining it. You're ruining it, damn it. You're ruining it. Because then he's like,
What?
I want to get noticed by her. Emma Bunton, aka Baby Spice of the Spice Girls. I have to get noticed. I have to do this for her. And I'm the cosmic smasher. I'm the ultimate good guy. WCW sucks, ECW sucks, WWF sucks. They're not even really hitting each other. At least we're hitting each other, man. And then Mick Foley, out of all people, who's giving you advice, who jumped off his roof as a teenager. I mean, he's done a lot of crazy stuff. He's been concussed. He's been what have you. Mick Foley, one of the greatest of all time. He's
No
telling,
doubt.
yeah, Mick Foley is telling you, go get trained. It's not as easy as you think. Just go get trained, take a bump, do things the right way. He's like, I slept in my car for most of that time period. I had nothing. You know what I'm saying? Most of these guys ate tuna fish, for God's sake. Like, go fucking get trained. Don't fucking do this bullshit. And I know this is how a lot of people got into wrestling, and I'll even say it because a lot of them are backyarders. Some of them did it the right way, and then you have these guys who are the backyarders. Like fucking Youth Suicide, he was the only one who really went through anything of that, and he's the one who got punished. I saw you cut yourself. You tell your mom you cut yourself, and then afterwards they showed what happened afterwards. Youth Suicide was grounded for cutting himself. Like, come on now, you know what I'm saying? The mom grounded him. It's ridiculous. Couple broken ankles on me. Whoa,
We got a couple of bruises, a couple of scratched knees, a couple of broken ankles, but
whoa,
a
a couple of broken ankles.
Like, you don't think you need to go to the hospital for
No
that?
big deal. No big deal. Just but not at all. Oh,
What?
what? Oh god, it was so bad. But yeah, no. Well, they also made, like I said, they made a lot of video games around that time. The backyard wrestling video games, which had the Insane Clown Posse in it and the
Oh
Juggalos.
my god! Speaking of white trash,
First of all, with the ICP, I like them because they are wrestling fans. But you talk about white trash.
you would say that, Mike Larkin. You would say that.
The fact of the matter is, and I'll say this: if you want to go smelling like booty juice, and do like my homie does over here, because we used to talk about this at the movies. You were through that. You went through that grunge stage for a little bit, where you didn't bathe and you wore the skinny, cutout jeans.
I always bathed. What are you talking about? Didn't bathe?
I don't know. You look
When
like,
did I not bathe, Mike
when you
Larkin?
started wearing those. You started wearing those jeans with the cutouts on the friggin' knees and all that, man. Cut up, rip jeans. And
Well,
shit.
I will say this. I will
Yeah.
say this.
Okay.
I did. Okay, when I let's be real. Okay, I'm gonna be real with you, Mike.
What you mean? Be real.
I did wear secondhand clothing that I bought from thrift stores when I was in high school, and I did it ironically because that's what grunge people did, and I was trying to be grunge, and I
I
thought I
remember that.
was cool
You did.
because I dressed grunge,
Oh yeah.
and I was listening to Nirvana and Soundgarden and Alice in Chains, and I was wearing all the flannel, and do you remember? Do you remember when I had the choker, Mike Larkin? I had a choker.
I do. It
I
was.
had a spiked choker, Mike Larkin. I kid you not,
I
America.
I,
Okay.
I remember the profile picture on Facebook.
Oh,
It used to. Yeah.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was bad. It was bad. It was bad. And I thought that I was like really, really cool. And like I was wearing like gross clothes and like it was just, it was a nightmare. It was a nightmare. But I never did not bathe. Like I never went that far. Like,
Well, no,
I,
your dad used to do that every time we would walk by the dumpster over there. He'd be just like, "Oh, Steven, oh, Steven." You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
yeah, the outlets when we were going to the movies, and then he locked us out of the car. And we had to wait 45 minutes in the parking lot, and we
I'm
had to
ashamed
be
of your dad.
embarrassed because we're.
I'm ashamed of your dad. Just say you're ashamed of him. I'm ashamed of your dad. Who's
Like I had to, like we were there so long that I had to go take a piss at the side of the railroad tracks.
okay?
You remember this, Mike
Remember
Logan?
you doing this because I know. Here's the thing. I walked around the corner because I didn't want to be witness to this, but I knew you were going to do it. So I'm just like, you're like, Mike Larkin, I really got to piss. I got to pee. I'm like, well, wait till we get there. I can't hold it. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go on the side. And I'm like, okay, you do that. I'm going to go this way. Do your business. Do your business.
Logan, like we're all the way on the other side of the parking lot. Like I would have had to walk all the way back into the outlets and then find the one like public bathroom that's all the way like in the offices that you have to go through a maze of hallways to find them. Like I'm not going through all that crap. Okay, my dad can't even. I'm blind. My dad can't even come with me. I'm like, I just, you know what? There's a freaking side of the railroad tracks right here. No one's really looking. I might as well just do it right now. It's not like I gotta go take a crap or anything. Like I'll just take a quick, tinkle, and then, then that'll be it. It'll be done.
Tinkle, a quick tinkle. Is that
You
what
know,
you're doing? A quick tinkle?
yeah, it was a quick little one too. It was a quick little twinky tinkle.
1, 2. Meet me outside. Meet me outside. Twinkle, twinkle, baby. Twinkle, twinkle. So
Stop hating.
stop
Stop
participating.
participating.
Stop
Stop
participating.
participating. Stop.
And you participated in peeing on the side of the railroad track. I remember that.
Mike Larkin. He freaking. My dad locked his keys in the car. Like we need to like make sure everyone knows that at least. Like my freaking dad, who's like half senile at this point, locked his freaking keys in the car, and we had to wait for 45 minutes at least for AAA to come so they could unlock our car because my dad locked his keys in the car. Did I tell you the story about when he lost his keys at UBS Arena? Did I tell you that story?
Well, we'll talk about in a second here, but I'd like to add to the point of what you just said because the visual memory is coming back. I remember AAA's ass just pulling right in to that movie theater over there, Deer Park, man, over there. I remember them coming into the parking lot, and I'm like, everybody else is parked, and then there's this big old AAA like truck right over here because I'm like, there's that AAA. Oh, gee, I wonder who that could be for. Oh, but yes, talk about UBS.
So we're at an Island game. It's me, my dad, and our boy Tommy, and his guy Bobby. And the game is over, and my dad, like he gets up, like he does the old man dad, when they stand up and get up out of a chair. He goes like, yeah. There you go, Michael. You've seen it.
My dad does it too, right? I'm aware.
Yeah. And freaking, he does this thing where like he like feels up like his like the side of his pants and like his thighs and like he's like checking his pockets and he goes, well, wait a minute.
I don't even know what I just said. I don't even know what
no. I knew you were gonna say that.
Oh, wait a minute.
I don't know what I said, but I said something.
I said something. I don't even know where my keys at. Where are my keys?
He goes, I don't know where my keys are. Like what do with my keys? I don't know where my keys are. And like he's like looking all around, like they're not in his pockets. And now he's like looking on the floor. He thinks he dropped them on the floor. They're not on the floor. Mm-hmm. And now, so me, Tommy, and Bobby are all now looking on the floor and in the aisles and everywhere, trying to find these keys. Okay. And we're looking at it now. Now we can't find them. We're looking at the other rows. We're looking behind us. We're looking in front of us. Nowhere to be found. We're asking ushers now. The ushers are getting involved, Mike Larkin. Not
Oh,
not that usher. Not that usher, Mike.
oh no, 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 no,
The
no.
ushers at the stadium, they're getting involved. They can't find him. No one can find him. We're
Right.
now trying to retrace his steps. We're now walking along the concourse, looking for on the cement, looking for keys. Okay, nowhere to be found. Okay, now he's now asking people at like the souvenir stands and the concession stands if they've seen any keys. No one's seen any keys. Okay, he's looking now. He's getting panicked now. Now he's 20 minutes have gone by, and he's freaking out. He's like looking in the men's room and thinks maybe he left him in the men's room. Can't find him. And Bobby's looking everywhere. Tommy's looking everywhere. Now he's looking. Now he's trying to find out where Lost and Found is because now he's getting freaked out
Yeah.
because now he can't find the keys. My login. And so now we're going to Lost and Found. They don't have anything at Lost and Found. They made him fill out a form to see maybe if they would show up. Still couldn't find him. We're on the first level now. Now we have other ushers on the first level now looking for him. Okay. Now 30, 35, 40 minutes go by. Still haven't found the keys. So now I'm thoroughly embarrassed now because like, oh my God, this is my daddy and
Yep.
he's just lost his keys. And as we've just mentioned, this is not the first time something like this has happened.
No, not at all.
And now I am mortified. Okay. And now I'm worried that we're gonna be locked out of our car now because my dad can't find his keys. So we get in Bobby's car. Bobby's car, I guess, was closer in the parking lot, and he offered to, and I appreciate Bobby. Shout out to Bobby because he offered to drive us home, and he was really cool about everything. Even though it was a really really tough situation to be a part of, as you know, and he drove. So we drive out to the car, and my dad, he's like, I'll give it one more shot. Maybe I dropped him getting out of the car. He's looking around the car. They're not near the car. They're not under the car. They're not anywhere. So he's like, all right, let me try to open the door. Maybe the door is open. And just, maybe, I don't know, maybe something happened and they were like in the car. He's looking in the car, can't find him in the car. He has his other pair of pants. He changed pants before he went to the game. We went to the game, goes in the pocket of the other pants. The keys, after 50 minutes, were in the pocket of the other pants. Mike Larkin. Okay. I was freaking mortified. Of course, Tommy is cracking up. Tommy's like right next to me, just having the time of his life. He thinks this is the most hilarious thing ever.
It is the most hilarious thing in the world, bro.
Like good for Tommy. At least he can find some humor in this. But like, this is just like, oh my God, my dad just had a major senior moment, and we almost got stranded at the Islander game. Like, oh my God, I cannot believe what just happened. Okay, my dad is almost 50 minutes looking for keys, and they were in his other pants in the car.
Oh.
And then no. And then the postscript, it gets better. The postscript to this is for Christmas. Carolyn's Tommy's mom. Carolyn and Tommy got my dad as a Christmas present AirPods to put on his keys so I wouldn't lose his keys again. I lost it. I cracked up so hard. That was the best present of Christmas right there. Like, I laughed so freaking hard. It was hilarious. And you go there. That's so you don't lose your keys again.
Oh man, that's great. That is
so next we're waiting for my dad to lose the AirPods now. Now that's what we're waiting for next.
Has he really gotten, and I love your dad to death, but has he really gotten to the point of like half senile? We're not going all the way full throttle with it, just like half of it, a little half short.
Yeah, he's like half cock at this point with the senility. With this, it's just well, you've seen it, Mike Larkin. You know, it's just sometimes he won't remember where he left things, and
yep,
even though it was like 2 minutes ago.
Yep, yeah.
And like how many times he's walked into a room and be like, what the hell have I come in here for? What was I just looking for? Like I'm like, Dad, are you serious right now? Like It was 2 minutes ago.
Hey, I can say this as an epileptic who's hit his head, besides having all those seizure salads, as you know, besides having the
He
seizure,
thinks he's so funny for thinking of that too, right? I'm like, he thinks that like it's so
whatever.
hilarious. I'm like,
It was
okay,
so funny. Hardy
yeah,
hard.
ha ha ha
Uh-huh,
ha
uh-huh.
ha
Let me
ha
laugh.
ha.
No, I love him, but yes, you thought that was very funny. But yeah, no, I get attest to that of hitting my head 5 times and having 15 staples in it. I get it, but yeah, as you get older, you do that as well. But also, what I have to mention, like we touched upon this, I don't know if it's still on your Facebook, but the fact that you videotaped him, you son of a gun, watching Frozen, and yes, I'm cold. Yes, I'm really cold. Yeah, that still holds up to me when you videotaped him watching Frozen. What are you watching Frozen? You know this movie's a kids movie, Dad, right? Right?
What? Why are you watching Frozen, Dad?
You're watching
Why are you
Frozen.
watching Frozen? He's like, I'm not. I'm like,
I'm not.
I'm watching it on the TV right now. I know you're watching Frozen. Like, well, I'm not watching Frozen. I'm
I'm
like,
cold. I'm cold. Yeah, I'm really cold. Don't disturb the cat.
and meanwhile, you hear, let it go in the
Oh.
background. We can't sing it too much because Disney will copyright strike us. But
Yeah, right.
we're hearing that song in the background. I'm like, that. This is a children's movie. You realize that, right? Like,
Right.
this is not like a family film that adults can get behind. Like, this is clearly a Disney princess children's movie. Like, next he's gonna start watching The Little Mermaid. Under the sea. Like,
See?
right? Oh man,
Oh.
they're making crabs, man, Mike Larkin.
Well, what do you think about this new one that's coming out? It looks like, I mean, everybody's going about it just because Ariel is African American, but I'm like, I don't care about the color of her skin. It's a fucking movie. It's a Little Mermaid, right?
I mean, what I don't understand is why do we have to keep remaking cartoons into like real and like CGI movies?
They
Like,
had they did that with a Christmas Carol. Remember Jim Carrey was the voice of a Christmas Carol, and Ebenezer Scrooge for Jim Carrey in like 2013. They did that.
they've done The Lion King.
Yep.
They did Aladdin with freaking Will Smith as the
Oh God,
genie. Oh my god, that
oh,
was hard to watch.
horrible.
I mean, ugh, ugh. And of course, you won't hear from Will Smith anymore because he's done. But Mike Logan, I just want to say that Will Smith doesn't have to curse to sell records, but I do.
So fuck him and fuck you too. And now, well, here's the thing. And I look at that from 24, 25 years now. I'm going to put it like this. Will Smith had that disc coming for what he said about the rappers of today at the 99 VMA Awards when he won for Miami, which was hot at the time. That was what he won the award for at the 99 VMAs on MTV. And he's like, I never had to curse in my records. I never had to, do anything like that in my records because, he's a real rapper. I never had to curse. I never put anybody down in my records. You know what I'm saying? This is for all you. And I'm like,
Yeah, he just slaps people in the face.
right, of course. But you could see Eminem in the crowd just like, okay, okay. Because he knows he's not dumb. So,
Eminem has more talent in his tiny little pinky than Will Smith will ever have
I mean,
in 3 lifetimes.
hold on here because that was big around that time, late 90s. The Big Willie style album had Miami, Getting Jiggy with It. It had Men in Black. It had Just the Two of Us. Daddy Loves You. Daddy Loves You on that. So, I mean, it casted 4 hits off that album. Millennium, not so much. It had Will 2K and it had the freaking it. I'm about to freak this. Yeah, yeah. What you want me to freak this? Yeah, yeah. And then he did, let me see you nod your head. The black suits coming from Mac Men Black 2. Let me see you nod your head. And then, of course, in '05, switch. Turn it over and turn around now. Switch. Yeah, after pretty much after Big Willie style, it kind of went down for Will Smith as far as music goes. Yep.
And then like he also had that thing for a little while where like he would explain the plot to all of his movies, like in one of his rap songs, right? He had Men in Black,
Yeah, that
he
was
had
not
Wild Wild West,
yes.
he had what was the other one?
Well, yeah, well, Wild Wild West was with Drew Hill and Cisco. That was Wild Wild West. Yeah, I like that song though. I'm not gonna lie, that song was great. Men in Black, yes, he had Nod Your Head for Men in Black 2. I'm trying to think of other ones he did. Yeah, no, I have no idea. I know By
There's
La
a bunch of them where he like had to like explain the plot of his movies like in the rap song. It's like he, we can just go see the movie. Like you don't have to like explain the plot in your song. Like
well, I know
kind of
what
seems like a shameless promotion. You just like
right.
talking about your movie in your song.
Well, I do remember for the Wild Wild West, besides the title track, you know what song was on that soundtrack, right?
What?
Bailamos, let the rhythm take you over. Bailamos, te quiero, amarillo, te quiero.
Enrique Iglesias McLaughlin.
Yes, for his the late 90s, man. Enrique, Ricky Martin, and Mark Anthony. Well, you and I always do. You can run, you can hide, but you can't escape my love. With
That was the Latin explosion, my clock, and Jennifer Lopez.
Jennifer Lopez. And if you had, I cannot believe, I love If You Had My Love. On the Six was a great album. I'm feeling so good with Fat Joe and God Rest His Soul, Big Pun, the Big Punisher. And we also had Let's Get Loud, Let's Get Loud. Yep, that was.
Yes, I remember the songs, my clock, and I was there.
I was there. Well, you also remember like 2000 a little bit more than I do because you were Nina and you had a Eiffel 65 with I'm Blue, I'm a D, I'm a die, I'm a D, I'm a die, I'm a D, I'm a die.
I don't know what you're talking about, Morgan. What the hell are you talking? What's this Eiffel 65 stuff? I never heard this song in my life.
It's still a good song. Even 24 years later, people still talk about it, much like they talk about.
Yeah. But you say that now. But like when we were in high school, you would give me shit about that every day. Every time it was brought up, like, remember when you had that CD? You had that CD. That's so lame. All right. Who ate my lolly?
Mean it. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. I have no idea what you're talking about. Just
Yeah. Okay.
Well, the Venga Bus. Everybody still sings the Venga Boys. We like the party. Six Flags really blew up with that one. Absolutely.
They really milked that one, didn't they?
They've been using it for over 20 years. That doggone commercial in that song. And I mean, it's like people forget. Like you and I also enjoyed Venga Bus with Boom 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 Boom. I want you in my room. That was another one that was good.
That's a banger, Mike Logan. That's a banger, Mike.
Well, do you like that one or do you like the original? Boom Boom. Let's go back to my room.
I don't even remember that guy's name, Mike Logan.
Me either. I don't. I just remember.
Is this a random one-hit wonder from the 80s?
And then the Venga Boys did a like techno dance cover of it later on. That's still one of our favorite albums too, like the one from Music Space where it had like Amber's, this is your night, dancing free until the morning light. Like Music Space albums, yes. Don't Call Me Baby, Madison Avenue, and it had what was the other one that Amber had? I liked. Remember Sexual,
Mike Logan.
Yes, The Way I Feel is Sexual. The Thunder Plus remix. The Way I Feel is Sexual when you're next to me. Dee da dee dee da dee dee da dee da dee.
That's some good techno, Mike Logan. I mean, me and you love the techno and the house music because it's great grinding music. Let's face it.
Oh, of course, and I mean, do I ever?
You know firsthand.
Of course. Do I ever cross your mind anytime? Do you ever wake up reaching out for me?
Oh
no. It also reminds me, remember Deborah Cox, Nobody's Supposed to Be Here? They would advertise that all the time, the club mix. How did you get here? Nobody's supposed to be here. Nobody's supposed to be here. And that is a good song. Still to this day, is still a banger. Oh my goodness. Well, you're the one who brought up friggin' Pony also by Genuine the other day. Friggin'
That's not techno though. That's just good R&B music.
But they would do a dance mix to that, I think, in the clubs. Ride it, my pony off the Bachelor album. Hell yeah.
You brought up Stranger in My House, right, Mike Larkin?
I did. And here's the funny.
That's you know what I'm gonna say, right, Mike Larkin?
That's inappropriate to play at a
That's not an appropriate song to play at a family function. Have we talked about this before on the podcast?
I don't know if we have, but reiterate it because it's a fun
So I was in Brooklyn. I'm in Brooklyn, son. I'm in
Brooklyn.
With that, the Italian side of the family. And what was it? What did I say it was? It was
a christening or it was
christening or a confirmation or something like that. Some very wholesome church related event that we were celebrating,
right?
And they had a DJ and he decides to whip out Stranger in My House and freaking as me and we can attest to, there is a lyric in that song that goes pop quiz, tell me where my spot is. Because that's totally an appropriate thing to be playing at a function with like 7-8-year-old kids and like grandparents and like
hold on here. To my defense here, I listened to that song when it came out when I was 70 years old, but I digress. No, I
mean, you know what? We could actually do a whole thing about inappropriate lyrics that we sang when we were little kids that we had no idea what they were about, like to the window,
to the sweat drip down my balls.
We could go on and on and on. Like Was It Me by Shaggy, Mike Larkin.
Dude, we used to do that even before I would come to your house. I would used to call you up just because it was our jam and that was our thing. I used to go, "Hey man," and then you
We
go,
would do the skit. We would do the
"I did a
skit.
skit." I would call him up and I go, "Hey man," I'm like, "Open up, man."
Open up, man.
And then after we got to the end of it, we would just open the door. All right, and then, "Hey, what's up, homie? How you doing?" That was our thing for a while. Every time you come, you call over, "Hey man, open up, man," and I would do that. You could just call.
Like,
you want to catch?
like, and that song literally has the lyrics. Honey came and she caught me red-handed, banging on the bathroom floor. We sang this when we were 9.
Yes, 8 or 9. We were picture this. We were both butt naked, banging on the bathroom floor. We mentioned earlier. Next, "Baby When We're Grinding." I'd get so excited. I wonder if you could tell I'm hard right now. You know what I'm saying? Like that. I mean, you have to look.
I heard that song when I was 6 years old. My
Same, brother. Same. I mean, for the God. Speaking of Hulk. Well, they had that. I have to rewatch that, but I saw bits and pieces. They did this story of Hulk Hogan versus Gawker, and I immediately thought of you. We dropped the leg on Gawker, brother. We dropped the leg. HH. Fucking Hulk. You don't have to have.
Wait, hold on. We gotta go back to the lyrics.
Go back to the lyrics.
Wrestling. You talk about wrestling all the time. We gotta talk about other stuff right now. Okay. What about freaking anything, Nelly, right? Nelly singing about, if you want to go and get high with me, smoking L in the back of the limousine.
Yes.
Right.
Yep. Okay.
Right. There's so many that we just we sang these songs and they were so inappropriate, Mike Larkin.
Oh yeah.
So come on, there's more. You gotta there's more you can probably pull out of your ass, right?
Color Me Bad, I Want to Sex You Up. I mean, come on now. Color Me Bad. I mean, Rough Ends for the R&B side. No more shopping sprees, no more VIPs, no more dough. We can't even kick it no more. I mean, we could even talk about friggin' oh my God, Janet Jackson. It's all for you. You know what? I got a nice package. All right. Guess I'm gonna have to write it tonight.
My sisters used to sing that song.
I know, dude, but it was our jam, and your sisters used to sing that too. Yep.
That makes my heart sad, Mike Larkin.
What, the fact that I got a nice package? All right. Guess I'm gonna have to write it tonight. Your sisters used to sing that. All right. Well, we'll go even back with the rap. Kaya, My Neck, My Back, My Pussy, Just Like That. You'll be here all day.
And I just I think about that stuff, and then also just imagine the kids coming up today with WAP.
Yep.
And some of the other and truffle butter.
Yep.
It's only getting worse, Mike Larkin.
Oh, it is.
There's got to be a line drawn somewhere. You can't just let your kids listen to this very, very explicit material just because it's on the radio.
Right. Well, I'll bring up another one of our jams. Ideal. Whatever you want to do. What? One of the lyrics in the song is, I like it when you bring that thing to me, pushing it all up in between, making it harder in between. Whatever you want to do. What?
I forgot all about that.
Yep.
I forgot all about that. Oh my God. And of course, the pony song, Mike Larkin. I mean, that whole song.
Let's do it. Or friggin' Adina Howard. I'm gonna be a freak until the day, until the morn, and we can all to the night, to the early morn. Or Rex and Effect, Rump Shaker. All I wanna do is zoom, and a boom, boom. Just shake your rump. Baby got back. Put it on the glass. Pumps in a bump. Pumps in a bump. What? We like the girls with the pumps in a bump. Yep.
Are we allowed to bring up certain fella named R. Kelly and any of that music? We're going to talk about that, or
we'll talk about R. Kelly. I've talked about R. Kelly.
we don't endorse R. Kelly.
No,
it's just like we don't endorse Michael Jackson, but
okay, stop.
The guy made Thriller. See, I worked it in today. I brought that up randomly the other day.
I hate you.
And I found a way to work it into the podcast. I understand that he touched those boys, Mike Larkin. Okay, well, and I'm not condoning.
He was found not guilty.
Mike Larkin.
We've talked about this. R. Kelly is way worse than Michael Jackson.
Mike Larkin. You know that Michael Jackson did it. You know that he did it. You know that he got away with it.
And
he only won. Mike Larkin. He won the case because he moonwalked on the limousine. Mike Larkin.
Well, that's not a stab at Michael. That's just a metaphor. I'm just psycho. So I mean, it. I hate you. So no. It's a wild one over here.
I love you too, Kookster.
But no, I understand where you're coming from. And I'll say this right now. I've seen the Michael Jackson's An American Dream, the miniseries. I've seen a lot of his documentaries. The man as a child, he never had a childhood, so he felt like Peter Pan. I understand that. R.
Did you
Kelly.
see the one that came? No. Did you see the one that came out 2 years ago about the two guys?
Oh, yes.
That was like 4 hours long.
Yeah, but I think a lot of that stuff that they said was like misconstrued, and it was like one of the choreographers and stuff like that. A lot of
Misconstrued. They like got very explicit
they said
in
it
the
was like,
details.
well, a lot of people said it was bullshit. I don't know. I didn't watch the whole thing. I'm aware of it, but I never watched it. Did you?
I tried to watch it,
Yeah.
and like after like an hour and a half, I'm like, okay, goddamn, like I don't need to know all this shit. Okay, like, all right, like they got too detailed with it, Michael. Like, okay, we don't need to know everything. Like, we don't need to know what you stuck where and how long.
Yeah.
And all the orifices and all the games he made you play and where he hid everything and
the pimp juice. Yeah, and the pimp
that's
juice.
enough.
Yeah.
Enough. Okay. We don't need to know everything. You can keep some. I understand letting it out can be very therapeutic, but keep some of that shit to yourself. Okay. Like no more. Well, no more, baby.
I'm gonna do it right. Yes. Let me go to the subway. No, the thing I will say about that is the fact is I get it. And first of all, the Michael Jackson thing, I knew who you're talking about. It was Wade Robson and some other guy. I've never seen it, but I'm aware of who it was. So I did not see that. The only ones I did see were the man band, the boy band documentary that Lance Bass produced to expose Lou Pearlman.
The man band, Mike Larkin.
Well, there was Mission Man Band. That was the one that had 98. Okay. Mission Man Band.
Lance Bass would make something called Man Band.
Well, he didn't do that. That was not Lance Bass. His was the boy band story. No, Mission Man Band.
I don't know if that's any better, Mike Larkin.
Well, that was the one that we talked about it all over. Friggin' Brian Abrams got, you know what I'm saying? Color Me Bad. I'm a normal guy. I drive a pickup truck and I live in Oklahoma. So that was Mission Man. That was Mission Man.
Speaking of white trash, Mike Larkin.
And I like Color Me Bad, but Brian Abrams just
I'm just a regular guy. I live in a trailer. I drive a pickup truck.
He didn't say I live in a trailer. He goes,
this guy used to be a sex symbol? Like what?
He was in Color Me Bad. Yeah, he was skinny and he wasn't fat. But yeah, no, it's funny because he's fat. So he's in Mission Man Band in 2007, and he's just friggin' just like, I'm a normal guy. I drive a pickup truck and I live in Oklahoma. And I'm like, bro.
I live in Oklahoma, Michael Larkin.
Then why the hell are you here on this fucking show with Jeff Timmons, who is fucking 98 Degrees, Chris Kirkpatrick from NSYNC, Rich Cronin, God rest his soul, from LFO, and Brian Abrams from Color Me Bad. Like, they put the four of them together and putting them like that. Like, still, whatever. And the boy band one was the one where Lance Bass live in Oklahoma. That was the one that Lance Bass produced, and it was to show Luke Perlman. Ashley Parker Angel was in it, Aaron Carter, and God rest his soul, and a lot of people were exposing Luke Perlman for the person he was. But yeah, I know that you can't get.
I'm sorry, I'm still stuck on
living in Oklahoma. We used to do that all the time. I'm like, homie, I don't know if you know this or not, but I'm just a regular guy. I'm a pickup truck.
We haven't talked about that in so long ago, and I'm just remembering it all now.
But the way he said it, and because also at the time Brian Abrams had a drinking problem, so he was just like,
that's not funny. That's not funny.
Not funny. No, that's not. Come
on, my Larkin. We gotta keep it light. Keep it light.
Right, but yes, we're not saying he had a drinking problem is funny. We're saying the way he described how his life is now was funny. Just just a regular guy. I drive a pickup truck.
Live in a trailer. Live in Oklahoma.
What the fuck? What the hell happened to you, Brian Abrams? Friggin' All for Love and I Want to Sex You Up? Like, what happened here, Brian? You would Color Me Bad performing on the Arsenio Hall show, and now you live in Oklahoma. I drive a pickup truck. But yeah, it just 2007. But no, that was that. And I mean, the other documentary, of course, it was very hard to watch Surviving R. Kelly. And the reason why I say that is too, they got graphic with that too, but then they did another one and another one. Everyone just showed him going to jail now. And everybody was just like, we're so happy that he's in jail. And it's so sad that Aaliyah's not here to tell her story and the whole nine, like Surviving R. Kelly.
God rest his soul, Aaliyah. One love, rest in peace.
Baby girl, baby girl. Absolutely, rest in peace, baby girl. But god dang it.
You're the South.
Yeah. Are you that somebody? Tell me you're that somebody. So that was the thing too. Surviving R. Kelly was hard to watch because they really got graphic with it. And it's like, all right, like how many stuff are we going to talk about? You know what I'm saying? How much? And you realize like that man who made great music that we love and we still talked about, like what a fucking monster he was, dude.
Yeah, and I think like this is a debate that like a lot of people have like all the time, and music and art and like all these types of different things. Where like you have to be able to separate the art from the artist, right, Michael Larkin?
Yes.
And like, yeah, I don't excuse what these men did because it's inexcusable, it's disgusting and horrible, and should never be forgotten. Okay, but at the same time, okay, their contributions to society in their professions, in their artistic endeavors,
In the entertainment world, yeah.
is also very significant. And do you, I mean, listen, like they've erased Bill Cosby from pretty much existence now because of what he did.
Mhm.
But Bill Cosby, and I'm not defending Bill Cosby, don't get it twisted, Mike Larkin. Okay, I'm not defending him.
You
But
want to
Bill
put him
Cosby brought joy to millions and millions of people through his stand-up specials and his TV shows and all of these different things. You know, but because he did despicable, horrible, disgusting things, and probably is probably the most prolific rapist of all time when
right?
you really think about it.
Oh yeah.
They don't want to have anything to do with him anymore, and now his art is now erased from existence. Basically, they won't show the Cosby Show anymore. They won't show his specials anymore.
Mhm. Well, also,
But like like Michael Jackson, like what are you gonna do? Are you gonna just erase Thriller?
and it's
You're gonna take Thriller? You're gonna take Remix to Ignition out of existence with R.
no,
Kelly?
no, you're
Like
not going to do that. No, you're
like
absolutely.
it's just but like where is the line though? Like how when do you do it? How do you do it? This is a very like very philosophical debate we're getting into now, but like it's a question that people grapple with all the time because like a lot of these amazing people that are geniuses are also very damaged, and often their genius comes from being damaged and dysfunctional. And it's like, at what point do you separate the art from the artist and vice versa? And like, when is it? Why is it okay for Michael Jackson but not Bill Cosby or whatever? I don't know. I'm going off on a thing now.
No,
I don't know.
I know what you're saying, and I mean, for me, first of all, you want to defend him for the pudding pops. I get it; it's okay. But yeah, no, the fact of the fact that,
No, Mike Larkin. That is not why I wanted to. I'm not defending him, Mike Larkin. No, nobody. No.
so the fact of the matter is,
No, I do not smell what the Rock is cooking, Mike Larkin.
so the fact of the matter is, we have Michael Jackson and R. Kelly. You mentioned Ignition and Thriller; these are classic songs, and I mean, that would be like, if you remember the movie that came out, and I remember seeing it in theaters, This Is It, which was showcasing his tour. You know what I'm saying? It's like that would be like, oh, so we're going to show this because it was his tour, and then he died. And there's so many things you could debate with, but I also look at it from a stance too as well. These are the same people, and I'll use the wrestling reference because we talked about Hulk Hogan and Gawker in the HH. Hey, brother, can I get a retweet? I was balls deep in Brooke. Retweet. So, I can't believe he did that. I cannot believe he did that. He gave that guy a retweet. But no, it's like with wrestling.
Say your prayers and eat your vegetables, Mike Larkin.
Say your prayers. It's take your vitamins and say your prayers, man. Take your prayers.
Whatever.
Take your vitamins, say your prayers. Yes.
You know what I meant. You know what I meant.
I do believe I know what
okay.
you were saying. Yes. But no, that's the thing too. It's like the debate with wrestling fans that they have. It's like, well, why can't Chris Benoit be in the Hall of Fame? I'm like, because he murdered his wife and son and he hung himself. Is more, and I get you can respect his work because he's one of the best technicians of all time, but he's not going in there. Like people would debate, like, why is Mike Tyson in the WWE Hall of Fame? I'm like, because it's Mikey Tyson, because he raped a girl, he was charged with rape. And why is people like
James? And Mike Larkin, not only that, he kicks, he bites. Like, dude, he's right there. Like, do you not understand it? He's right there.
Robin Givens had a death wish on that 2020 special.
Like, as soon as these people leave, he's going to beat the shit out of you. You understand that, right? Like,
right.
This is like 1988. While he's the heavyweight champion,
this is prime Mike Tyson.
He can kill men.
Yes.
Trained fighters with his bare hands, yep. Lady. Okay. Like, you do not want to poke this bear right now. Like,
She was out of her mind. But that was prime Mike Tyson. And I mean, Mike Tyson's in the Hall of Fame, but I also can respect what he did in the Attitude Era with Stone Cold Steve Austin in WrestleMania. And people also debate about Jimmy Snuka because
But
of
you know what though, Mike Locker, you know what about Mike Tyson?
what?
Like to be fair,
Yeah.
like he has turned his life around and does seem like he's in a much different place like right now and has been rehabilitated. Like I gotta say, like he's a much different person now than he was back when he did all those things with the going to jail for rape and the thing with Robin Givens
Oh, absolutely.
and all that stuff. I think that he's really turned a serious corner in his life. He's a much different person now. And I think that's why people are willing to forgive him, because I think people realize that he has learned his lesson, I think, right? I mean,
and I mean, you also look at people like, Jimmy Snuka's in there and he allegedly murdered that girl, which probably he did, to be completely honest with you. And then you also have women, people like Donald Trump's in the Hall of Fame and so many people, and people complain.
What's wrong with Donald Trump, Mike Larkin?
Because people like Sonny as well, you know what I'm saying, is in it and she's done pool. But it is what it is, man. What?
Yeah,
are you really going to do the Donald Trump joke again?
No, I'm just no. You brought up Sonny, and now I'm like really sad because like
she almost killed somebody. She almost killed somebody.
Well, that and like she looks horrible now.
Oh, she looks terrible. And then she did the Sonny
just like
it was terrible.
And she just used to be so gorgeous back in the day.
Yeah, 97, man. She was one of the.
I mean, she was so hot, and it's just like it's so. My God, like right, like when you've had this, right? And not just with her, with other people, maybe people you even know in your life, where like with women like who used to be like really, really hot, and then like at some point they hit the wall, and then like they just completely just go to shit, and they look horrible, and you just go like, oh my God, I'm so sad. Like it makes me right. Does it make you sad when you see someone that like used to be really hot and now they look like absolutely horrible now? Like
Ariel Dombosley.
wait, no, my God, you didn't say it right. My God, you gotta say it.
Ariel Dombosley from Definitely Miami. That episode.
Definitely Miami with American legend. American
legend.
Not Don Johnson. I'm talking about Stranglehold, Mike.
Oh, stop, please. I'm going to say this. Fuck Ted Nugent for what he believes in. Fuck Ted Nugent, but for what he did, you can fuck to the left, fuck to the right. Go fuck yourself tonight, Ted Nugent. I fucking hate you, Ted Nugent, and you know it. Take you high enough. Fuck you. Fuck you and fucking whatever the fuck was the name of that group. What the fuck? Damn Yankees. Fuck you and damn Yankees, Ted Nugent. Cat scratch fever on this.
Cat scratch fever
on this dick. So he was on Definitely Miami. Played a great douchebag. It hit her and made
him just kind of like being himself, wasn't he, Mike Larkin?
Yeah, true. But yeah, no, he legit beat her up. Like, just to make it look like, he really did it for real when she was just like, okay, hit me. And then friggin' Don Johnson falls head over heels while he's protecting her and making sure she stays away from him. I'm going to take care of you. He's being all nice to her, loving on her. And then we get
I know, my
God. Then he gets to the fucking beach and then he's like, bitch, you takes off the glasses. You fucking bitch. You fucking were playing me the entire time and he's all upset. Doesn't even look at her. And just lets the police take her. And she tries to, freaking flirt with the cop. And then all of a sudden, you don't know how to ease my pain. You don't know.
My Logan, I don't know if you remember this, but we actually did an entire podcast episode where we watched this episode.
Go back and listen to the Steve Nicks experience where Steve and I looked back on Definitely Miami and watched this. That'll be in the link so people can watch
it in live time. You can actually, it's like one of the coolest things that we ever did because like you can actually sync up our commentary to the episode as you watch the episode, and it's like you're watching the episode. It's one of the coolest things I think that I've ever done on one of our podcasts, where like we actually watched an episode of Miami Vice in real time. Right? I mean, come on. When you think about it, that's actually a really cool thing that we did, right, Mike Larkin?
Well, that was my idea. I'm like, dude, we talked
about that was your idea. Yeah. Yeah, okay.
I was like, hey, man,
whose podcast was it, Mike Larkin? Whose podcast was it?
It's my goddamn podcast. But no, it was both of our ideas. I just wanted to say that, because it's all me. I'm all about that positivity, negativity in my life. No more drama in my life.
That's right.
Of course.
My mom worked at West Fair Music Family, Larkin.
So the fact is the fact that we did that. Go back and watch it. We watched that whole episode, and it was just we synced it. We gave our commentary. It was awesome. I agree. That was one of the coolest things we ever did in the history of us podcasting for the last 8 years. It was really
Yeah,
one of our
yeah,
best.
yeah. One of our crowning achievements, and that I think is like our favorite episode of Miami
That is
Vice,
our
right?
absolute favorite episode of Miami Vice. It is.
Just so I mean, it's everything good about that show is like in that episode, and like Ariel Dumba.
Honestly. Well, also, I remember like the best time was I had the house to myself, and this one over here came over,
Oh no, here we go.
and we watched
Oh, here it goes.
those. We didn't watch that, but we watched The Crush with Alicia Silverstone and Carrie Ells. And he wanted to be that swing so doggone bad. We're watching this. I'm like, homie, ever seen The Crush with Alicia Silverstone? I'm like, why don't we watch this? And then you watch this movie. Oh man, it's the
Gotta
best.
loosen my collar, Mike Clark.
Oh man, and here's the thing. Alicia Silverstone.
Please be 18.
Please be 18. She was 17 at the time, playing a 14-year-old.
Mike Clark, that was very Mike Clark. Like that was very. She did not look 17. That was the problem. Like,
No,
you really drove me crazy with that one because like she did not look. I think that's one of the points of that whole movie, right? That's kind of the point of the movie at the end of the day. One of them, anyway, right?
Yes. But
It's
she
like,
played that role so good.
That girl is
poison. If you were you, I'd take precaution. But no, she played a bitch really well in that. Then a year later was Clueless and Rolling with the Homies. Rest in peace, Coolio and Brittany Murphy. Oh my god, dude. But yeah, at least
we really got into the Lifetime movies for a little bit, right? Like Logan, there was a few, right? What was
the one with Melissa Joan Hart, Twisted Desire. Melissa Joan Hart was an absolute bitch in that movie. That was based on a true story. She had her boyfriend murder her parents.
Yeah.
And she tried to blame it like, he made me do it. And it's like, no, bitch, you told him to kill your parents because you wanted to be with him. And so now that you're going to get in trouble, you don't want to receive jail time, so you're going to blame everything on him. Fuck her.
What about
Oh, the one that we watched with Patrick Swayze, Letters from a
Killer. What about the one Marky Mark? Is that a Lifetime one, or was that just
That was just a regular movie, of course.
That was just regular, but it's the same kind of a deal. It was like a Lifetime movie, though.
I know
I just love. Come on, say the line, Mike Logan. I know about your inadequacy, Steve.
I know about your inadequacy, Steve. How you can't satisfy the missus. That's why she's all over my stick. Marky Mark,
man.
And then he freaking goes
over. Only good thing he ever did.
No, I wouldn't say that. I mean, he has some.
He did have the Funky Bunch. That's right.
The other guys.
Oh, I consider that more of a Will Ferrell movie than a Marky Mark movie.
Police shithead. Are you Dirty Mike and the boys? Yeah, how do you know?
Oh shit, it's the cops.
Run your dicks on the cars, you run away. You ruined my beautiful Prius, and we will have sex in your car again. It will happen. So but yeah, no, Mark Wahlberg was a fucking dick in Fear with him and Reese Witherspoon and Alyssa freaking Milano. Oh my, no, was it Alyssa Milano? Yeah, it was Alyssa Milano. So I believe it was Alyssa Milano. Yeah. Okay, so the best part, I had a mind fuck there. I had a brain fart. So Alyssa Milano plays Reese Witherspoon's friend. She's driving on the damn highway, man. She's driving home. Pull over. And then he's like, hey, you better not fucking say anything to her. You better, you hear me? And then he fucking kisses her. You fucking liked it. And then he walks back to the truck. I'm like, you savage.
I mean, it's just, it is such an underrated movie.
It is. Well, the best part is not even that. You should have let me in, Mr. Walker. Things could have been so much easier. So let me in the fucking house.
he pounds on the guy, right?
Pounding on the door. Let me in the fucking house.
Play that fucking track.
Oh, play that fucking track. Limp Bizkit. Yes, keep rolling. And I think the one that you hated about it because it was you know what I'm saying? They did a lot of stuff like this. It's like, sleeping with the, single white female was like the one where she was like the stalker, you know what I'm saying? Which was a big thing. And then they did the roommate wasn't as good because it was similar to single white female, but nothing will beat single white female.
Yeah.
They had movies like that. But yeah, Mark Wahlberg in Fear. It just is so underrated. It is so underrated. The Funky Bunch was hilarious because of Eminem. Why don't we stand around here in one big funky bunch? And Mark Wahlberg, much like Mike Tyson looked at Robin Givens, was like, I fucking hate you. I want to beat the shit out of you right now, but I'm on live TV. I can't fucking do anything.
I'm going to kill y'all.
Yes, that's legit what he wanted to do. He wanted to kill Eminem at that very moment. Like,
He was too legit to quit. Like fucking.
MC Hammer, fucking MC.
Hey, hey.
Hey, hey. Oh my God. Also, we talk about season stuff. You mentioned Keenan and Kel. Oh, here it goes. A lot of people always said this, and I loved every season of Keenan and Kel. You and I have watched those episodes through the whole show, right? Everybody would say, like, once they got to like season 3, season 4, that's where the show took a dip. No, I will absolutely disagree on that because, well, they were in high school, and that led to everything that went on there with just All Here Goes to Hollywood and so many great episodes from that era. And I mean, nothing will compare with I Dropped.
What about the episode with the principal, Mark Logan? Who was that? That was
Which one with the principal? Was that the one where they were at graduation and they pulled the prank?
no, with the woman principal.
Oh, season 2, where he pretends to be their parent. This is my son, Tatel. It's Keenan. Yes, I remember that episode where he
wasn't that
what are you talking about?
Tamia? Wasn't Tamia like a principal or something on that show?
No, that was Kim Fields who was the principal.
Kim Fields, Tamia, Tamara.
Stop. Well, Tamia was on Keenan and Kel. She was on an episode where Keenan needed a date for the prom. He's like, I'm going to.
Oh, that one. Okay,
I'm going to the prom with R&B songstress Tamia. And then he's like, you got Tamia.
It's been a while since I've seen those episodes, Mike Clark.
It's been a while. Yes, but also, here's also probably what you won't remember, because you know who was one of the recurring cast members around season 3 time of Keenan and Kel?
Who?
Nick Cannon. He was one of the classmates on Keenan and Kel around that time. While he was also doing All That. This is also when All That had young Gabriel Iglesias, Fluffy, on All That towards the end. What?
Well, the cops don't like me like Mike Clark.
I was chilling at the 99-cent store, and here's what really happened. Like, you try to act all hard.
You sound like Anton Jackson, Mike Clark.
Howdy, Anton Jackson. No, I don't remember the Jackson 5. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Penelope Snow. Anton Jackson.
Mike Clark. Anton, have a bite of my sandwich.
Scrumptious. So yeah, but yeah, no, Nick Cannon, your pops don't like me.
Honey, honey, is this Michael Bolton's version of the thong song?
Honey, is this Michael Bolton's version of that thong song? No, but I heard he got the funk that Cisco missed. Dumps like a truck.
Another one of our favorites.
Well, you got to also sing the song. Dumps like a truck, all night long. Let me see that thong. What's the most like poppy acapella version of thong song? Well, I've said this to my boy Chris. Shout out to Chris, and I'll say this to you because you can equate this with me. If they had the thong song come out now in 2023 rather than in 2000 with the daddy, what's this?
Like Tim Allen.
Yes. If they did that now, oh God. If the thong song came out now as opposed to 2000, right? Like, people would probably be in an uproar because, oh my God, what they're doing with the women and the thongs and the derpa, you know?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Baby make your booty go.
Baby make your booty go. Make your booty show. That thong, the thong.
Ugh. And again, we were singing that song when we were like 9 years old.
I was 8 when that song came out. I remember making the video for that song. You know what I'm saying? I also remember making
that girl so scandalous.
And another can't handle it. So I mean, the fact of the matter that we all sat together at that time, when we always talk about it, I remember watching the hardest part of breaking up is getting back your stuff, the making the video up together. This is after I know my calculus. It says you plus me equals us. Okay, we'll talk about another one, young man here. Whoa, rub one out. Rub one out. Girl, don't be shy. Imagine singing that as a kid. You know what I'm saying? As compared to now.
Inappropriate, Mike Larkin. Inappropriate.
Absolutely. But yeah, no, speaking of Tamia, like they showed a video of her singing Stranger in My House, and it sounded exactly like she sang it in the original recording. But when they get to Tell Me Where My Spot Is, she kind of moves the mic away from her face because,
oh my God.
Yes.
Coward. Come on, sing the lyric.
Right? Exactly. Ugh. But yeah, no, I feel you.
Just own it. Just own it, Mike Larkin. Like it's your song.
Jump on it.
You sang it before.
Yeah, Tonto, jump on it. You sent that to me. I saw that.
Okay, Sugar Hill Gang.
That's a great song. Freaking Will Smith and Carlton. Ooga, ooga, ooga.
Mike Larkin, I also sent that something because didn't we actually do that dance at like Jackie's graduation party?
We did that, and we did no, we also did the Kid and Play.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
So for those,
That was some good times, Mike
that
Larkin.
was when I thought as soon as you sent that, I'm like, yep. We did Tonto jump on it. We did the oh we did the whole thing, and then we did Kid and Play because as soon as it came on, we were just we were doing Kid and Play because fucking they don't know about Kid and Play. Like, and I love Jackie and her friends, but Jackie don't know about no Kid and Play. Hell, I mean, she has a Ramones T-shirt, but she doesn't know who they are. So I mean, it. One of my favorite postings that you ever did? You took a picture of Jackie in the Ramones T-shirt. You're like, she has no idea who they are.
I was embarrassed, Mike Logan. Like you have no idea. Like this is my sister.
Right.
It's like how can you do this? Like this can actually like unintentionally like rub like affect my reputation, Mike Logan. Like because like that's I don't mess with that shit. Like the Ramones are like I freaking love the Ramones. Like that's one of my jams. Like come on.
Well, I know it's one of your jams because of that infamous profile picture. Yeah. That was what you were wearing. You had that Ramones T-shirt on. So I mean, it.
Mike Logan, I was in high school and shopping at thrift stores, ironically.
Okay. I remember that era.
Thinking that I was so cool wearing a choker. And remember I had the chained wallet. Remember when I had the wallet on the chain and I used to like lick oh my god, I was such
Oh, you used to swing the chain? Yeah, I remember that.
oh my god.
Oh
Did
my.
I when did I stop? When did I stop doing that? When did it was it before 11th grade? Or was it or 12th grade?
I think probably once you were a senior and I was a junior. Yeah, that's when you.
Because I'm like so like I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe I did that. I cannot believe I did that
Oh, he
shit.
used to
Like
he used to have the chain, used to spin it with the wallet. Oh, I remember. I remember. He was so cool. Look at me with my chain on my wallet. I'm spinning around in a circle, baby.
and I also made sure that I wore like really cheap shoes too, like that I got
Oh
from like
yeah.
Payless. Like,
Yep.
oh my god. Oh
You
god.
look it was you were going for the grunge look, man. You like I mentioned, I remember the not the polyester, the friggin' the plaid. You wore all plaid.
Yep.
You had the Ramones t-shirt,
Flannel
flannel.
and
Yep. And used to
I thought I was so cool. I thought like Larkin, I thought that I was hardcore.
I remember.
I was not hardcore.
But the legend
But
of
don't worry, because I would earn my street cred very quickly later on, as you would find out in Philadelphia and other places where I actually have quite the bit of street cred now, and I am quite hardcore now. But
course.
back then, I was still, learning the ropes. I was a little G, but now I'm a big G. You know what I'm saying, dog?
If you were from there, you are from there, you would know. Yep, I'm aware. So this is how we do it. But no,
You can end none. You can end none when it's expo.
whatever it is, the party's underway. So tip up your cup and
Pick up and
hands
throw
up.
your hands up and let me
Let
hit the
the
party.
party say, I'm kind of buzzing. It's all because this is how we do it. Oh, but no, I remember those days, man. You really enjoyed your plaid and stuff. I have to see if I can find that old photo of you going,
No, please don't.
please.
Please don't. Oh, look, remember when you used to play Yu-Gi-Oh with all the nerds?
We're talking about Yu-Gi-Oh. Oh, friggin' oh god. First of all, it wasn't Yu-Gi-Oh. It was Magic the Gathering. And I've
Yeah.
talked about this
Oh,
on.
because that's so much better, Mike Logan.
Oh
That's
god.
actually worse. You actually made it worse. I was actually helping you, and you made it worse.
I've told it on the show before. I've told it on other stuff. And I'm like, I hung out with a couple kids, and I'm not going to mention their names because you know them. But it's just like they would play Magic the Gathering because I had lunch at the time, and then we would go to the library. We played. I had no idea what I was doing because I don't even know what the fuck this Magic the Gathering is. So somehow I was winning, and they got on me. It's like, how are you beating us at this? I'm like, fucking no, man. I'm like, I don't give a shit about this game. Fuck this game and fuck you too. Like, you know what? I don't fucking know.
Oh, Mike Logan.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, I went to CradleCon. It's a comic book convention over on Long Island today. They're having it today and tomorrow at the Cradle Aviation. Really cool. I mean, Mike Logan, a lot of nerd stuff, Mike Larkin, like a lot of comic books and like, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, all that, video games, all that stuff. And Mike Larkin, you probably would have liked it if you were here. And you know what else? Like, because you would have probably fit in quite nicely because all of those people also still have their V cards also.
Shut up. So it just I'll be honest, I briefly had Pokemon in my room, like when I was nine.
Yeah.
I'm not my thing. Oh, I wasn't an anime guy. You were more of an anime guy on many levels.
I
So,
was not. I was never an anime guy, Mike Larkin.
oh, you were a hentai guy. So,
What's this worst stuff? No, Mike Larkin. First of all, that's my business is my business, Mike Larkin. Okay, dog.
my goodies, not my goodies. Drop your gas.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go. My business is my business. Just something. Can I get a witness?
Oh God.
This is not gonna be one of our like greatest episodes, but like it's definitely have its moments, Mike Larkin. Like we're going we're getting crazy today, Mike Larkin.
It's we haven't done the show in a while, so it's okay. We're allowed to let loose.
Yeah, and we gotta get our groove back too, like Stella. You know what I'm saying, dog?
Well, I think we have our groove back, man. I mean, we're doing our thing. I think this is us. We're just being us. But one thing we did see that is
I'm still pissed off about my freaking dad making me almost late to this freaking thing. Like freaking, I'm gonna stay and listen to 80s music. Like,
that's why the show's been like this. He's mad at his dad. He's ashamed of
You're a little bit. I'm ashamed of my dad.
That's why he's a little.
You're a little bitch.
He's a bit cranky before we got on the air, folks. So that's why we're all over the place. He's a bit cranky.
Yeah.
Because his dad made him stay. He wanted to listen to an 80s band. He's like, no, I got to do a fucking podcast. Got to record a world class fucking podcast is what we got to do. No, anyway, besides being
But I think we're doing all right, though, right? My Larkin is not. It's not terrible.
No, it's not terrible.
We'll get a couple of clips out of this.
What is very terrible is God rest his soul, Jerry Springer. Jerry.
How do we wait this long to talk about Jerry Springer?
Because I don't know, but I have to bring this up, and a lot of people mention this. The best thing about staying home from school, Maury, Jerry Springer. That was the best.
Yep.
That was, if you're a 90s kid, you know what I'm talking about. You're sick, you're home from school.
And Jenny Jones and Ricky Lake.
Yep.
And a couple other ones, but Jerry Springer and Maury were the big ones, though.
Oh, then Steve Wilkos would come on at noon and stay
later on. Yeah, that was late. That was get off my stage.
I liked him, but he was very over the top with the get off my stage stuff.
And he didn't really like. And I noticed that because I watched a couple of those shows, and I noticed that he didn't really solve. He never really like solved anything when he went on those. When he would do the shows, like he would just yell at people a lot.
Yeah, if I was a cop, I would have locked you up.
It's like, dude, like at least Jerry Springer like pretends like he's trying to help people and like tries to like.
Well, what's going to happen here? What are we going to do here? So what's going to happen here? That was Jerry.
Yeah.
Springer. So what's going to happen?
Like Steve Wilkos would just like yell at people for a half an hour. It's like, okay, what was the point of this then?
Well, the problem with Wilkos is he thinks like a cop, and when he was, doing his stuff and being on the force, and Wilkos would just like instill fear into you. You know what I'm saying? He would just get so mad by these stories. And I know his wife produced the show, but it didn't have that same effect like Springer did. Like when Springer left for a little bit, Wilkos hosted the Jerry Springer show, and it wasn't the same. It wasn't. I mean, Jerry never really lost school. The one time I remember him losing his school was when he yelled at that KKK guy that they had on the show. And he's like, you shut your mouth. And I was like, you never see Jerry get pissed, but it got to him. And I mean, there was so many different stuff from that show, man, different reveals and stuff. Like it was great entertainment for the long time that it was on. You know what I'm saying? And Jerry Springer was that voice, the Too Hot for TV. I know he did some stuff on the WWE Network. He was a guest host on Raw. And I'm going to say this right now, segment bombed, where they did like a Jerry Springer skit. But Jerry was that guy, man. Like he could give you controversial stuff. I remember the Jerry Springer Goes Wild, those pay-per-views that they used to have on the pay-per-view network. Oh my God.
Yep. And Mike Larkin, we cannot talk about Jerry Springer without talking about the ringmaster, Mike Larkin.
Got to bring that up, man. Or else I'm fucking.
I had to, Mike Larkin. First of all, Jamie Presley. First of all. Oh. Second of all, come on, like that's a wild.
It's a wild
movie, yeah.
Going to the Jerry Springer show, the ringmaster, Jamie Presley looking fine as wine, as she always does. This was before Tiffany Amber Thiessen. It was before that. Yep, it was before. It's before her, Tiffany Amber.
The hotel room,
and I'm aware. Jamie Presley the Ringmaster was a good movie, very underrated movie. I know a lot of people thought it sucked, but it had its moments.
It was entertaining. Mike Larkin, just like the show. It, say what you will about the quality of the subject matter, the quality of people that are brought on as guests, but he definitely knew how to entertain people and put on a good show and make you keep watching, regardless of whatever you thought. You were gonna stay around for that commercial break and watch after the commercial because you wanted to see what happened next.
Well, like when that kid came out, he's like, "I drank the blood, Jerry. I drank the blood. I'm a vampire." And they had him come out in the coffin, the whole nine there. Like he's had some very unique guests and subject matter, and a lot of people used to make fun of the final thought, which is very a lot of wisdom that he brought. But everybody used to make fun of the final thought because it's like you have this car crash, and it's like, oh, now you want to be serious. I'm like, but he gave a lot of good advice in those final thoughts, man.
Yeah, at least he's trying to like make everything make because there's a lot of chaos on those shows, and at least the point of that segment was at least to try to make it somewhat make sense,
Yeah.
right? And try to make like there was at least a little bit of a point to this half hour of your life that you just spent watching this show.
I mean, it was fan interactive, and a lot of the fans had some great quips that they yelled at the at the guests, which was funny, and the Jerry beads, of course. But yeah,
What about the one? What about the clip that I sent you where with well, I have something to tell you. I am in fact a man, and the guy just goes doesn't miss a beat. Well, I'll try anything once.
I've seen that one. I've seen that one many a times, and the crowd is like,
I know you have, my fucking.
and the crowd is like, it has a lot of very shocking. Has a lot of very shocking moments too. But yeah, no, I can't say anything bad. Like I love Jerry Springer just because he was so entertaining, and it was just such a good time. And it's sad that we lost another legend, that being Jerry Springer. And I mean, I remember wanting to watch it in high school when we had a sub, and a lot of kids were out because they were on a field trip. But somebody wanted to watch Bill Maher, and I mean, have to kill and ruin it for everybody.
Oh, now you don't want to name teachers' names now, Mike Logan? Before you were going off, writing off the whole roster, but now all of a sudden you're like saying something semi-controversial, and you don't want to share any names now, Mike Logan? Is that how it is, dog? Oh, I see how it is. So you're all tough off the air. But then you get on the air and talk about it like, oh, someone who shall not be named.
You think you're so cool because you think you're so cool. You think you're so cool with your Jew, bro? We don't say tap that. I was laughing as I was about to say it because it's so awesome.
I couldn't even get it out.
I couldn't even because I was like, I'm gonna try so hard not to laugh. You think you're so cool with your Jew, bro? Dude, I did that with my mom at our prediction show. If you guys go back and listen to it. I said, "You think you're so cool with your Jew, bro? We don't say tap that." My mom goes, "Tap what?" And I'm like, "Never mind." So.
You gotta be careful when you say things like Jewfro, Mike Larkin. Like that could be construed as racist, Mike Larkin. You don't want to say things like that. Well, you have a problem with Jews, Mike Larkin?
You're a quarter Jew, you asshole. Like I know who would.
Whoa! Where the fuck did that come from?
Whoa! Where the fuck did that come from?
Mike Larkin, I take offense to that. Mike Larkin, a quarter Jewish? A quarter Jewish, Mike Larkin?
A couple of broken ankles?
What are you trying to say, Mike Larkin? A quarter Jewish? Why is it a quarter, Mike Larkin? What are you trying to say, Mike Larkin?
I'm not trying to say anything. I'm trying to say you're a quarter Jewish. That's all I am.
You know what, Mike Larkin? I don't like the way you said that. Hey, What's up, Mike Larkin? What's up?
If he was a real man, he'd fight me in the locker room. Let's go to the fucking pigeon club. Fuck yourself.
We are. This is an interesting episode today. I gotta say, this was a very interesting episode.
But yes, I would definitely say, God, though, rest in peace to Jerry Springer. That he was a pop culture icon and so many entertaining moments. If you've not seen the Jerry Springer show, and if you haven't seen it, you know what we're talking about. 90s kids, we get to stay home and watch it during our sick days. And hell, maybe you weren't even sick and you just wanted to stay home. And your mom let you. So, boom. I gotta bring it around back to that.
Look at me, I'm so cool because my parents let me stay home. I had cool parents and you didn't, Steven.
Go crazy. But no, you did, man. Like I said, that was still the fun times just because I know your parents would never let you do anything.
Like let's also like somebody like Jerry Springer like had a very, very interesting life too. Like he was not only an amazing talk show host, he was the mayor of Cincinnati at one point, right? I was the governor of Minnesota. He was the mayor of
Navy SEAL. Why won't they let me in? Why?
No, stop. He was the mayor of Cincinnati.
Mayor of Cincinnati. God, I'm sorry.
He was a TV news anchor, anchored like the evening news in Cincinnati. Like he did a lot of like Mills Lane. Like he had a very like diverse, interesting life, like similar to like Mills Lane before he like found the thing that he was like most famous for. He also did a bunch of other interesting shit before that, which is like really incredible because like you don't really see a lot of guys like that anymore that can like transition from one career to another and continue to be successful. Like guys like that don't come around very often, and I think that he's a guy that you definitely another guy that you're definitely not going to see another one of. Like they're not going to make another Jerry Springer because like you just can't replicate everything that happened in those circumstances that made him what he was. And uh, it's just we lost another legend, Mike Larkin. Like if we can be a little serious for like 2 seconds, I know this was a crazy episode, but very similar to Jerry Springer shows.
Yes.
Is we can let's have a final thought, Mike Larkin. Like we lost another legend this year, Mike Larkin. Like this is a guy who you can't make another like we were just talking about. Like they tried to make Steve Wilkos into the next Jerry Springer, and it just didn't work.
Well, here's my heat with that because Steve Wilkos, most of his stuff, they had like most of his episodes were
Get
guys
off my stage!
and guys beating up their wives, or who's the father and whatnot. He was more Maury-esque because a lot of his episodes were paternity tests.
You are not
the
the father.
But Steve Wilkos will never beat Jerry Springer. He wasn't, because he was more serious and authoritative, and Jerry wanted to help people throughout all the craziness. And Maury was just, you are the father, you are not the father. So you had a nice little mix, and him being right in the middle there. Just you can't say nothing but fun, good things about Jerry Springer. People might say it's trashy, what have you, but the best thing is people were talking about it. It evoked emotion. So you got to let out there, and Jerry Springer will be sincerely missed. Like everybody, I remember, like I said, when I heard it, I told you, like, we were devastated because we were Jerry's fans, and I got to say, a lot of our humor is very much Jerry Springer-esque. So there's an influence on a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we grew up with that stuff. I mean, we grew up with the '90s and talk shows in the '90s and 2000s, and you're not going to see stuff like that anymore. Unfortunately, times are changing and the media landscape is changing, and unfortunately, like you just are not going to have, um, you know, daytime talk shows. I think anymore. And if you have them, they're not going to nearly be as popular or as interesting as they once were. I think that unfortunately, Jerry Springer is becoming more representative of a bygone era. If as hard as that is to fathom, because we don't think of ourselves as being that old. It doesn't seem like it was that long ago that we were kids. Watching those shows on even in high school. Watching those shows on TV. But it's a bygone era now. Like you're not going to see stuff like that anymore, just because there's a market for that stuff anymore, and it's crazy how much things can change over a short period of time. But I think it's all his passing is also a reminder of how like probably not going to get those times back where like we'd stay home from school and turn on TV and watch Maury or Jerry Springer or whatever, or like The Price is Right or like whatever. It's just not that The Price is Right has anything to do with any of the other ones. I don't know why I brought that one up, but like that's always on during the daytime.
Oh yeah, Drew Carey and Wayne Brady with "Let's Make a Deal." You're right.
Yeah, like that's just, but more so the talk show stuff. I should have brought like Jenny Jones and Steve Wilkos, like that stuff is you're not gonna see that stuff anymore.
You're not going to see the Sally Jesse Raphaels and the Reiki Lakes and all that stuff.
Yeah, and it's really unfortunate because I think it reminds us, the people who remember that era, that we've kind of moved on from that time now, and things are a little bit different now, and it's a reminder of how fast time can fly, right, Mike Larkin? How fast things can go, and how things can change over a very short period of time, and listen, he was gone way too soon. All that being said, I mean, he probably could have lived a little bit longer, right, Mike Larkin? I mean, how old was he? I can't remember. How old was he, Mike Larkin?
I'm gonna take a look myself because I believe, if I remember correctly, he might have been like late 60s, early 70s. I'm gonna take a look.
I mean, like he probably could have had, you know, another 10 years.
So Jerry Springer was. I got it up here. So when he died, he was 79 years old.
He's older than I thought he was. Never mind. I mean, but still, I mean, it's just sad. I mean, I thought he was younger than he was. My luck, he looked fantastic for his age. Jesus.
Right, I agreed, and I think what you said to really put a bow on it is like today's day and age, things come and go within a week.
Don't listen to the blanket.
Things come and go, and this day and age, that could go from one week to another, and then it's forgotten. But stuff like that is very much timeless, and just appreciate the times that are created and the moments and memories created and that are yet to be created. So that's what
Absolutely.
I would say. And
Absolutely. His legacy will live on forever, I think, at least with, the people who grew up with it, like me and you. We'll never, those are times that we will never forget, growing up, sitting at home watching TV, and stuff. We talk about that stuff all the time. We talk about back in the day, back in the day, back in the day.
And
we talk about that stuff, and it's like, we'll say things like, "Hey, remember when we used to watch, Jerry Springer and Maury and all that stuff?" And remember how that lady in high school who you hated wanted to watch Bill Maher instead of because you don't want to name her name, and you're being a real you know what right now, but
no, I'm not doing that. I like her. That's the problem. That's why I don't want to.
I see how it is. I see how it is. You like her, so you don't want to be mean, but if you don't like someone, you'll throw them right under the bus and say their name. I see how it is, Mike Larkin. Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it bees like that. So with that,
yeah, okay, I see how it is, Mike Larkin. Yeah, okay, you went to double standard. I see how it is, dog. No, I see how you roll. I see how you roll.
That's how I roll. So with that being said, rest in peace, Jerry Springer. And just, yeah, for those who have not seen any Jerry Springer, go back in your day. The younger generation, watch you some Jerry Springer. And for those that remember him, just appreciate the memories and just enjoy some Jerry Springer. Go back and watch it. It's retro. It's nostalgia. And that's what's in right now. Nostalgia. Everybody loves them some nostalgia. So
Yep.
That being said, before we close this out, we took you on a wild whirlwind here today, folks, of just stories.
I don't know if it's one of our better episodes, but it was definitely one of our more interesting episodes. We went in a lot of different places. See, I don't like podcasting angry. I podcasted angry today, and I shouldn't have done that. I should have just let that like Frozen. I should have just let it go.
Well, you were like excuse me, what was it? Galaxia and friggin' Anger Management, Woody Harrelson. Are you an angry boy? You need some discipline. ladies, gentlemen, I'm not having sex with a female. Okay, get out of the cab. I feel like dancing. Okay, so yes, he podcasted very angry today. He was very angry at his dad. He was ashamed of his dad today, so that's why he's a little bit perturbed.
But hey, I am happy that we got to throw him under the bus a little bit. That was at least satisfying a little bit. So
that's always a plus. I'm ashamed of your dad. So with that being
said, say it, Michael. Come on, say it.
Ashamed of your dad.
I'm ashamed of your dad.
Ashamed of your dad. Give me some of your tots, God. So, really quick before we close out, we were watching Split Second on a Game Show Network, and one of the questions was, Jamiroquai's Canned Heat, like, what movie is it from? And my dad's like, I have no idea. I'm like, Napoleon Dynamite. Like, oh. For real. The vote for Pedro shirt, yes, and the whole nine. I got Canned Heat in my heels tonight.
Look, I met Pedro. I told you that, right?
You met Pedro?
I met Pedro.
Really?
I'll tell you off air. I'll tell you more off air.
Okay, we'll talk off air about that. But folks, I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Steve and Mike Show. We'll be back next month, as we do, hopefully earlier. I'm glad we got this in as well because it's been a while, like Stained. And before we close this out, homie, let them know where we can find you, and I'll promote all of us in a second. But where can we find you on social media? And just promote School Spectrum.
Oh yeah. Okay, so if you've made it through this episode and you're still interested in following me, first of all, good for you. Second of all, my Instagram is @Steve Nicks. Twitter the Twitter, there's a few Twitters. Um, Golden Age Pod at Golden Age Pod is the corresponding Twitter account to the Golden Age of Everything podcast, which is going to come back very soon. We are working on it. I'm talking with Mike Larkin about bringing it back. Right, Mike Larkin? We've not forgotten.
Oh no.
It's
Well, I
still in the
think
works.
well, no, what I like about it, I don't mean to cut you off, but I think what's great about it too, and I think folks what you like, there's going to be a new format, a new formula to
Yeah,
it. So we're going to spice it up a little bit.
it's gonna be fun. And then SNA at SNHE Pod on Twitter for the Stevie Nicks hockey experience.
Hockey experience.
Hockey experience. And at real Isles Pride if you're into classic New York Islanders content, which is very, very niche. Actually, most of my stuff is very, very niche. But if you happen to be in that very small sliver of people that finds this stuff interesting, give all those accounts a follow. And then my regular account on Twitter, which I have not used very much, is come on, Mike Larkin. Come on, let's say
I
it.
was about to say it because I hate that you changed it and it's ridiculous. At Real SM Show 1. Fuck you.
Because I am the real SM Show 1. And it was my handle before it was anyone else's handle. So I want everyone to know that if you want to follow me on Twitter, I am the real SM Show 1. Not anybody else who has that handle. Not any of these fake posers who want to have that handle try to steal it from me. It's not cool. So I just want you to know, if you can get this to you subconscious.
My Twitter is At Real SM Show on Twitter. That's what it is. And I spread my butt cheeks as Mike Collins Show. That's what it is. Yes. So follow him.
That's all you, Mike Larkin. I don't want
whatever. Yes. I'll put the links in the description, you son of a bitch. You can check me out on Twitter at SM Show 1. At MCL92 on Twitter. Instagram is Larkin_92.
I'm number 1, Mike Larkin.
It was not a win and 3 nobody remembers. And M Larkin MB on Instagram. Links will be in the description. Check me out on YouTube, Mike Larkin 92. Almost at 500 subs. Come on, people, keep subscribing and enjoying the content that is my YouTube. And subscribe to Steve for the Real Isles Pride, man, on Twitter and the Islanders Pride that he does. That's also.
Don't forget the Clips channel for this show.
I'm getting to that, man. I wasn't done yet. And only Mrs. Robinson. How many fingers am I holding up? So.
I think I need a better pair of glasses.
Oh, friggin' Mrs. Robinson. I went friggin' Simon and Garfunkel. Mrs. Riley. Oh God.
And only Mrs. Well, Mrs. Robinson. That's a different movie, Mike Larkin.
God bless you.
I like that movie though, Mike Larkin.
Yes. So, and Mike Larkin 92 on YouTube. Subscribe, and Steve and Mike Show Clips YouTube channel. Give it a subscribe, where Steve does amazing work of putting the clips together. Shout out to you on that, homie. And SteveandMikeShow.com for all your Steve and Mike Show podcast needs. Links will be in the description. Check it on out. And before we close the show, thank you so much for listening to us. For those that have gotten through this entire episode and listened to us do what we do, we appreciate you. And we want to see you back here for the next go-around. My name is Mike Larkin. His name is Stevie Nicks. And just a normal guy. Drive a pickup and I live in Oklahoma.
Thank you for putting up with us on this episode, ladies and gentlemen. We really appreciate it. We appreciate all of our fans, and we'll catch you next time. Hopefully it's more fun next time. If you did have fun, thank you, congratulations, and give yourself a handshake. Kiss yourself for me. Peace out.
Oh my God, my keys were in my other pants.